Hello, everyone, and welcome to Salud SA, San Antonio's premier wellness television show. I'm your host, Anastasia. Each month, I'll be seeking out San Antonio's best-kept wellness secrets and featuring homegrown alternative healing pioneers from our community. My hope is that this show will inspire you to expand your wellness paradigm to include options for alternative healing and lesser-known wellness modalities. This week, I'll be introducing you to San Antonio's self-proclaimed hope dealer, Stacy Orsag. She truly is a shining star in our community. Not only is she a yogi who resonates joy and peace, but she also knows a thing or two about essential oils, which is what we're going to learn about today. If you've wondered how to use various oils and what medicinal qualities they hold, get ready because Stacy's going to share a few of her favorites with us and also show us some creative ways to use them. Are you ready? Let's dive in. Welcome, Stacy. I'm so happy you're here.
Thank you so much for having me here. I'm so excited.
Yes, I'm excited to learn. So let's dive in and just tell me a little bit about how you got interested in wellness and particularly essential oils. What led you to that place?
Well, it all happened by accident. I feel like I'm a yoga teacher, and I was going through yoga teacher training a year after my mom passed away. I started experiencing major anxiety attacks. I guess because I had suppressed my grief. And so when I saw this yoga teacher training, since my mom passed away, the word awaken has always come at me. And I was going to yoga, and there was a postcard on the desk when I was checking in, and it said, "Awaken Your Soul Yoga Teacher Training." And I thought, and when I picked it up, the teacher that was checking me in, Hannah, one of my teachers, she said, "It'll change your life." And I thought, well, I could use a change.
Yeah.
And so I went to yoga teacher training. And during yoga teacher training, one of our teachers, during Shavasana, which is, final resting posture, she put some oils on me. And I had never really experienced essential oils like that. I just thought that they were something that smelt good. And
which they do.
They do. But I didn't really know much about, oils. But something happened in that particular Shavasana. Something like shifted in me. And I felt so grounded and relieved, and I could really rest in my Shavasana. And I thought, whoa, I want my students to feel that, And so after class, I went up to her. I was like, tell me more. What was that? What did you do to me?
Yeah.
And she said, there were essential oils. You got to be careful, because there's all different kinds of oils, and they can be potent, and you don't want to hurt yourself. And all of a sudden, I was like, what? What did you put on me? But I said, okay. And so I started doing my own research. I'm a researcher at heart, and the more I learned about them, I wanted my students to feel grounded as well during their class. I had started teaching like morning classes, so I wanted them to ground before we started, and at the end of class, I wanted them to be energized. So, there's different oils for different purposes, and that's how it all started. And as I originally had bought the oils for my students, but I started just by smelling them, started feeling the benefits. So I just started researching more, and I had heard about all different types of things, for a sore throat or for anxiety, or, if you have a headache, if you need to focus, all of those different things. And I thought, And so that's how it all started.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. I used to be part of a group here in San Antonio years ago. And one of my first introductions to essential oils was this woman basically opened a book, what looked like a book. And she had all these little vials in there, and each one was for something different. You know,
Right.
it's like for her headache or for, the sore throat or indigestion. Like she had all kinds.
Yes.
And I was like, wow, that looks awesome. Like I want that. Like it seemed very witchy and cool. So it really intrigued me. So can you tell us a little bit about how essential oils are made?
Right. So what essential oils are the medicinal part of a plant that has basically been used for centuries to heal. So it can come from like petals from a flower, roots from the tree, the bark, the rind from a citrus. And they're either distilled or, what is the word? Goodness.
Well, that's okay. We'll come back to you later. But we know distilled is one of the main ways.
Oh my gosh, I had a brain moment there.
It happens all the time. Don't worry. It'll come back to you.
Okay.
So they can be really potent because they are truly like coming from the source, you know, in the earth or the fruit, and they are extremely potent. So that's probably why your teacher said to be careful, right? Because not something you just want to like drink or eat.
So what I learned is that they're based off of these chemical compounds, and don't, I guess, quote me, but I'm going to just share what was shared with me from some of my teachers, is that modern day medicine uses those same chemical compounds, but they're created, you know,
in a lab.
Oh, right.
And
so it makes so much sense, you know, like why your abuela would put yerba buena on her temples. Or, you know, you would use chamomile in your tea. You know, all of these things that our ancestors used are now, I mean, they've always been here. It seems like oils have become cool now. And so that's one of my main things, is to tell people to do the research, and you get what you get what you put into it. You know, you get what you pay for, basically. And so do the research on the brand, because not all oils were created equal. My oldest son says, you know, friends don't let friends buy oils from the dollar store. So do your research and make sure that they're good quality oils. And so,
the last thing you want is to diffuse something that might actually be harmful to you, you know, because they use fillers and all kinds of maybe
synthetics.
Chemicals. Where you want something that's really pure. And, Okay.
It would be the same as just putting in a Glade plug-in. You know what I mean? And so those are like disruptors, and that's a whole other part of the hormone disruptors and just, you know, harming you. And if you put in a cheap oil, it's the same thing. And it's sad because some people think, oh, I bought this oil, and they bought it, you know, at Walmart.
Right.
Can I say that? You know, they buy it from a grocery store, and it might not be the quality. And so just do your research and make sure that you're using a quality oil.
Great. Okay, so what are some ways we can use it? So right here, what would you call this that you're doing?
This is one of my favorite things. So what's really cool about oils, there's 3 ways you can use them. And the first is aromatic. And so just by smelling an oil, you can change the chemistry in your brain. It kind of affects, you know, the amygdala, all that, you know, big, juicy, for you science-y people, you know. And so this is a diffuser, and we have diffusers all throughout our home. So this is the diffuser that I have in my house, in my home office, and we're diffusing rosemary and lime right now. And rosemary and lime are really good for focus and mental clarity, and so that's why I have this in my office.
And you guys, it smells so good. It's so fresh. I wish you could smell it. I mean, really, it's lime.
It's my husband's favorite. And we also have this diffusing in our living room. And it's funny because the mailman will go by and he's like, oh, that smells, I feel so relaxed when I pass your house. I've even had my neighbor say that she can always tell when I'm diffusing. And she's like across the street 2 houses down. They'll be like, Stacy's home.
That's awesome. So how does the diffuser work? Is the water boiling in there or what?
No,
what's
it's a vapor and it's cool. So you don't. I know that some people are worried that you have to burn them and stuff. No, it's just electric. I added a few drops of whatever oil I'm in the mood for. Like, for example, I have one by my bed for sleepy time, and I have sleepy time oils by my bed. And I put a few drops in, and then I just use distilled water. Yeah. And that's it. And then you just turn it on. And there's some diffusers that have different settings that they go intermittent. So for example, the one in my living room goes, it can go for 10 hours and it goes every 10 minutes for 10 hours. So it, it'll turn off.
Fancy.
I know.
I've seen some really cool ones online.
They change colors and stuff like that. They get pretty, what did you say, witchy and magical looking.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes. So diffusing is one way. What's some other ways?
So aromatically is one. Also, so if you don't have a diffuser, you can just take an oil, and we'll do peppermint right now, so we can get refreshed. You can just take an oil and put a drop in your hand. And this is what I teach my students. We put a drop in your hand. You make a little scent tent. Okay. Now, don't rub your eyeballs, because then you'll have minty fresh eyeballs. I've done that. And then you make your little scent tent, and then just inhale.
So it smells so good,
right? And then for some of us women, we have hot flashes. I'll put it on the creases of my elbows and the back of my neck to cool off.
Peppermint's very cooling, right?
Very cooling.
Yes. I mean, I already feel it. It feels like ice almost.
And you can even really nice. Inhale it when you're having to help clear your throat. Yeah. Clear your chest. It's really, really amazing.
That is really cool. Yeah, I learned a new trick today.
And again, sometimes, not all, and this is where you do the research, you can ingest some. And with peppermint, sometimes if I have a tummy ache, I'll just, do that and then put it on the roof of my mouth.
Oh, okay.
And then, or if you have bad breath and, tummy ache, any kind of indigestion, like you mentioned earlier, that's what you can do. So there's a couple of ways. I just did all three. I inhaled it, I applied it topically, and then you can do some, not all, internally.
Yeah. Do your research.
Yes, do your research. Please, please, please. So that's some of the ways. I have a funny story is that my oldest son was working in a doctor's office, and one of his friends, or one of the other coworkers, had bad breath. And so my son told him and gave him a little bit of peppermint. And then I believe his name was Stephen. And Stephen comes back and tells Joshua, "What did you just do to me? Because I've had a headache for 3 days. And it's gone." And all he did was give him a drop of peppermint for his bad breath.
Right. Well, dual purpose. There
exactly. So it's pretty amazing. It's pretty powerful.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that. All right. So we've got diffusing. We've got inhaling from our scent tent. We've got, you can put it on your skin. And I've also heard that you can, use a carrier oil to make, like if you were using almond oil or something, and you could put a drop or two of your favorite oil in it and use it on your body as a moisturizer.
As a moisturizer, or say you have, some tension or an injury on a knee that's kind of bummed or something like that. You can just take peppermint and then make some blends, doing the research. And I'll talk a little bit more about that from these books, but you can take a little bit of a carrier oil and apply it where it hurts or where it's dry, things like that. So
very nice. So many ways to use.
Yes, it's endless possibilities. So I'm not an expert. I've been using essential oils for about 7 years, and I do my research. So again, like I was telling you, I'm a researcher at heart. I'm going to put my glasses on. So this book right here tells me all about, each individual oil. But at the beginning, and again, it tells you, what is an oil, how to use it, and, doing your research. But at the beginning, it gives you in alphabetical order, like all the different ailments that you can use or that you need, and then it gives you like what oil is good for, what oils blend well with others and stuff. And then as you go into the book, it'll break down each individual oil. And then there's also some blends. And then it even talks about body systems and which body system it'll help. So
that's amazing.
It's super cool. So that's this book. And then this one, so this is more for like your body.
Uh-huh.
And this one I really love because this is a book for emotions.
Yes.
So anybody here not stress out?
Right. I don't think so.
And so this is really neat because it goes through the same thing, and it gives you each oil and its emotional benefits. So for example, peppermint is the oil of buoyancy, like a joyful heart, like a buoyant heart kind of thing. And orange is the oil of abundance. And so it's really, really interesting how you can start playing with the oils and smelling them, and they shift, just scent memory. I have a dear friend that is a nurse practitioner, and she said they were studying, her and med students, they were studying, and they would get a piece of rosemary, the plant, and they would smell it during study time, and then they would take it with them when they did the test.
The test.
So you could do the same thing with the oil. You know what I mean? It's just like so interesting.
Yes.
And so I like to play a lot and make things. So I'm going to show you how to make a de-stress your mess blend.
Yes.
And
de-stress my mess. Thank you.
But I also wanted you to recognize that even though it's to de-stress, some of the oils and their emotional benefits. So I like to try and teach my students the same thing. So we have, and I brought this for you.
Ooh.
This is called the Inspired Vision Blend.
Ooh, I love that.
And so it has, and I brought
pretty.
I brought my little syllabus here, and it'll explain everything down for you, or out for you. But it has basil, black spruce, ginger, green mandarin, and litsea. And the reason I picked those is because listen to what the emotional benefits are.
Yeah.
Basil is the oil of renewal. Black spruce is the oil of stability. Ginger is the oil of empowerment.
Ooh, yeah.
And
I love that, those qualities.
Right.
I already feel it.
Exactly. Well, here, smell. Green mandarin is the oil of pure potential.
Ooh,
And
I love pure potential.
Litsea is the oil of manifestation. And you spoke of carrier oil. It's with coconut oil, fractionated coconut
that
oil.
smells so good.
And then we
it's
put
so
some
pretty.
flowers.
There's
I have some
flowers
stones in there that also have healing benefits. And it's pretty.
Yes, it's beautiful.
So that's
love
for
it.
you.
Thank you so much.
You're
Oh,
welcome.
wow.
It's really nice.
That smells so good, you guys.
So
I wish
I have-
you could smell.
I have
through
these
the camera.
things on my desk at home, in my home office. So they
Yes.
help me depending on what mood I'm in and what I'm needing. If I need energy, peppermint. If I need to focus, I have some already made blends. This one is called Adaptive to help me adapt to situations. Balance is one to help me ground. That's one of my favorite oils.
I really
use
like
it.
that one too.
I use it, and you've probably heard me teach this before. I use it because it's made from tree parts, right? And I heard somewhere or read somewhere that a tree is not in a hurry.
Yeah, no, they
And
are.
so I want to be a tree when I grow up.
Yes.
And so I use that every morning during prayer and meditation. So.
That's amazing.
But for now,
Yes.
I make my own perfume. We call it Pure Fume.
Oh,
Get it?
pure
Ta-dum-tum.
yes.
And so all I do,
Stacy's full of puns too, by the way. I love it.
I'm very frugal also. And so notice I have these oil. Obviously, I have a lot of oils. And so I don't throw away my full bottles. I mean, my empty bottles once they're done full, and I repurpose them. So all I did was take it empty, and then they sell these cute little tops that fit perfectly on the bottle, and that's what I'm going to use.
Yeah.
So, and I make gifts for students and friends.
Yes, I've seen her Instagram. She makes some really cool gifts. And I got one.
Yes, there you are. You're going to have a couple. So, my de-stress my mess or calm my crazy blend is rooted in the idea that I need to be rooted. And so I use something flowery, but I'm not too flowery. So this is called Citrus Bloom. It's like a springtime blend, and this changes. But today I brought this one. And so it has a bunch of different flowery scents, but I don't want to smell too flowery because I also need to ground. So this is kind of like to uplift me, but I also need to be grounded at the same time. So I want to kind of bring everything balanced out. So let's start with that. So I'm just going to take my little bottle, and I'm going to put my glasses on because I can't see. And then I actually use my hand to help. My husband's an artist. He taught me this. I use my hand to help me so I don't spill. So I'm going to do about 5 or 6 drops of my Citrus Bloom, I'm sorry. And then, don't laugh, these have different tops because I'm not patient. And these are thicker oils. Oh, really? And so they sell these tops also. So this is for my sanity because obviously I'm making a de-stress my mess. I don't want to stress about waiting for the oil to come out. And so I'm going to take one of my favorite oils is patchouli.
I love patchouli too. Truly hippie.
Yes. And so I'm just going to drop about 5 or 6 in here. And then what's cool about making your blends, your customized blends, this is actually called vetiver. This is a very, very thick oil, but it smells earthy. It smells like wet soil.
I love that.
I do too. And I didn't at first. So it's funny how your body starts telling you what you need.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so I add some of that to this as well. So you can actually see how
it is thick.
It's very thick. And that is why I needed to get a dropper instead of leaving it the way it came.
I never thought about them having different thicknesses or
the viscosity. And so what's really cool about this is that sometimes people want when I first started using, I was like, what's the recipe? Right? And now, don't worry so much. What you can also do is do your research, find what oils resonate to you, and then you can play with it. And so sometimes I need more uplifting. So when I finish I need to make a refill, sometimes I'll use more citrus, or sometimes I'm like, I'm just not feeling this that much. I need more patchouli. So you can change it.
Yeah.
Which is in your body, your intuition will tell you what you need.
Nice.
All right. So the next step is I just take water. Now you can I've heard people use witch hazel or vodka to make it like a perfume, like an alcohol.
Yeah.
I didn't like it. But some people, it worked. This was just easier for me. I know that with vodka, you let it sit for a while so that it kind of really absorbs and stuff.
Into a tincture.
Yes, exactly. I don't have patience for that, maybe. I don't know. I go through it too quick. I don't know. So I just use water, and I make sure to use distilled water because our hard water here in San Antonio is just so hard. And so here we go. I'm going to use my finger so I don't spill. I have a little towel just in case. And then that's it. All I'm doing is using water. You can also get a little funnel. I lost my funnel.
Oh, that's perfect.
There. And then you put a little shake. And there's your perfume. And you can kind of... Here. Now you have...
Yes, now I have de-stressed my mess too. Nice.
And it's just water. And it's just very grounding and earthy.
Oh, that smells so good.
And so I've had people tell me that when I hug them,
yes,
now that I can sort of kind of hug people again.
Yeah.
COVID did a number on me, y'all. But they could smell me the rest of the day. So it was almost like a human diffuser. What's also really cool is one of my girlfriends, her name is Ina, the Beaded Path. She makes these. And there's lava beads that you can actually apply your oil to so that you can actually, this is what I put some in my hand. I take my bracelets, roll them on here, and then I am good to go. And so maybe you're at work and the crazy co-worker comes in. And I have a necklace also that I just kind of, sometimes I even put it in my hair.
Oh, yes.
So just depend, you can do all different kinds of things with these. And and it's natural.
This place smells so good right now. I wish everybody could smell it. It's amazing.
And I guess, and then this is another little gift I brought for you. I make my own sugar scrubs.
Oh, nice. And
so this one has,
sugar?
I used brown sugar and a little bit of white sugar and coconut oil. But there's a difference in the coconut. I use the tub of coconut oil, like an organic coconut oil that, liquefies with temperature and stuff like that. The fractionated coconut oil that's in that roller bottle stays in the liquid form.
Oh, okay.
So
so that's better for that.
And so this is a mix of cedarwood, copaiba. I believe I put some lavender, cypress for circulation. And this is what and some vanilla.
Amazing.
So that is for you to use. And it was made with lots of love.
Oh, yes. Thank you.
I just repurposed. So this is one of my old, containers that I had.
I love it. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. I'm leaving with all kinds of treats today. Well, Stacey, it has truly been a pleasure. I've learned so much about essential oils and just the overall benefits for the mind, the body, the spirit, everything involved in smelling these wonderful gifts from Mother Earth. Right. So how can people find you if they want to learn more about oils?
Well, you can find me on social media. My Instagram is awakening.gardens. Awakening Gardens is a place where self-love grows. So
nice.
And then
I love it.
Stacey Orsag on Facebook, and you can email me, awakeninggardens@gmail.com.
Great. Well, thank you so much. It was a pleasure having you.
Thank you so much for having me.